This video today is a wise animal meditation. I'm intending this for therapists who are learning about INT, the brain. Oops. I lost my capacity for morals. Yeah, you know that guy, the one that started all the neuroscience, that poor patient. Anyhow, intellectualizing aside, that might occur primarily perhaps in this section. The social cognitive network in here, also important. Our emotions, our self-defensiveness, and the rest of the subconscious. As therapists, we experience a lot of stress in sessions, trying to do the best, and the vicarious trauma that builds up. And we need to do a little meditation. Like our clients, we don't always see what it is that is our own struggle. We're not perfect. So let me share with you a little technique I've developed. Of course, for a therapist, you're going to know a lot about progressive muscle relaxation, about visualization, the benefits of regular meditation, relaxation, whatever you want to call it. And you'll probably also be well aware that this thing is designed to be anxious, to keep us safe. So if we don't practice relaxation regularly, then we will unlearn it very quickly. So I'll try and keep this brief in essence, much shorter when you do it yourself. And I have this chair, which I love and doesn't fit in other places. It's in my foyer. So I use it for exercises like this because I don't want to pair self-reflections that can at times be challenging with my lounge, my bed, or the place I like to have a cup of tea on the balcony. And I sit straight. Straight posture means the heart, lungs aren't crushed. Let's take a deep breath. Hold it. The sinuses are designed for the air to go in through and filter. So in through the nose. Hold it. Longer for a bit of extra relaxation. Get that lightheadedness. Release. If you practiced a progressive muscle relaxation, you'll already be letting go of your muscles and slowing down. And you may have felt or feel upon the next breath the subtle, little, nuanced tingle called the relaxation response. The more you notice and practice this, you'll be able to induce it with a normal breath within sessions to maintain your focus, even if things distract you, like my cat creeping past the window over there. I can go back to what it is I choose to focus on, and that determination to go back, that's really what mindfulness is. It's not about pushing things in or out of our mind. It's about choosing what we focus on and practicing that regularly. I'll let go. Now, I'm going to shift to a visualization. In other videos, you might see some hand-painted pictures that I did with my kids on the back wall of my office. Those have some of the main themes that are often used as protective figures in a lot of psychotherapies in their meditations. Now, I've created this time 5 protective, supportive figures that I can draw on in my mind as part of my relaxation so that I can untangle the web of my own thoughts. Breathing, relaxing. Let's first start with a place. You see what I'm doing? I'm going through the stress and then back again. Trauma-informed, not sticking too long. A place. With the 5 senses, any place that comes up for you, imagine a place. You don't have to visualize. It can just be imagined. And in fact, if you have that anagnosia, what's it called again? Doesn't matter. A rare word, one where you can't visualize. The more we practice imagining a place, it can actually start to work. Because we all dream. So, there in your mind, where are you? Today I'm going for an orchard. That's a theme that comes up for me from time to time, though I really challenge myself to allow myself to come up with a different location each time. I'm actually getting a basement today. I'm going to go with that. That can be relaxing. That can be a place of music and refuge. In boxes stored. I'm just filling out the place. It's warm. There's one of those big heaters under there for the whole house. It's quiet. I could see those things I just described around me. And the smell, perhaps clean, but nice to hear. Maybe some laundry going in the background. A gentle hum. I've got that sight, sound, even taste of the air, feel going on. I'm sitting on a lounge down there. Now in this place, I'm going to bring in the 5 characters. Unlike the 1 or 3 or more than that protective figures that I've heard of in other psychotherapies, I've looked deeply into the source of where they've come from, and the only answer I've ever got is, they just work, they just make sense. And they do. I've developed 5 because they relate to what I perceive from my neuroscience readings as the main 5 divisions of conscious awareness. First, the warrior-like part, like the guard, the anxiety, stands at the gate. It's protective. Maybe it's never actually fighting for some people. Other people they might present as angry. That warrior protective part is obviously a part of our thinking. So is intellectualizing. So is social connectedness, how we should relate to others. So is catering for our own emotions. And so is sometimes inexplicable animalistic needs. WISE, warrior, intellect, social, emotional, animal. Now, I introduce these characters into my visualizing, sight, sound, taste, touch, make sure my body's relaxed. I'm first going to bring in the warrior. I got them in that order for a reason. That's how people describe things when they're a friend to you, telling you what's going on in their mind. The warrior today, what character am I coming up with? I'm getting the Terminator. Yep. What is that? T-1000 or something. Yep. He's pretty determined. He's on a mission. He's the peaceful one. Come back to help John, you know. And he's going to sit down there on the lounge just opposite me. But he's not sitting to relax. He's sitting to say, let's get down to business. And the intellect. Sitting on a desk behind the lounge, writing notes, checking in books, trying to make sure we get this right. You know what? We can never get it 100% right. He says, maybe that's not correct. As they come up, let them speak. This is a creative imagery. It's not meant to relate to where I'm at now. I'm intentionally bringing it back to, you can go for movie themes, you could go for, fairy tales, you could go for anything that comes to mind. You could go for song lyric inspirations. You can just pick an animal for each one. Really try not to pick any particular person from your actual life to embody one of these characters. And for now, at this point, not a version of yourself either. Let's make it unrealistic, odd, fun, creative on purpose, emphasizing creatives, because that's getting us past our own mental blocks. Now, I'm noticing what those 2 characters are doing. They're kind of like on the same team. That Terminator, want to just get business done. The intellect, trying to take it on too much, got too many books there, you can't even read all those in a day, mate. Stop trying to synthesize so many notes together. Now, they're ready. We can bring in social. That one, I'm getting Daphne, you know that long-haired chick on Dooby-Dooby-Doo. She's she's coming in and she's, checking her hair and making sure her outfit's right. And, she's just coming straight up to me and trying to tell me how I should probably iron my shirt. He says, sorry, I don't really care about that. I got other priorities. Anyway, yep, she's going around tidying things up. Thank you. The others are okay with that. Just don't want her to get in their way, but that's okay. I'm enjoying this. It's a nice little basement there. Got some music ticking away in the background now. Daphne's just gone and put some classical music on. And what do you know? Today I forgot to put waiting room music on in the background. Funny, when I do things like this, gives the brain the capacity to find a synchronicity of something that I've forgotten. Now, the emotional part, what's that? In practice, I always find this a really challenging one. The social one too, it's a bit lower down in the realm of what's most out of these parts, which ones are more closer to the animal, which ones are more closer to controlled intellectual functioning. And that's not exactly why they're in that order. They're in this order because that's the order they tend to present in the room with the person, and that is tolerable to drag out in a creative sense. So this emotional part for me, this is meant to be one who protects us, looks after us, like a fairy godmother type figure. It is often really hard, that nurturance figure, for a client to bring up. I've have the benefit of some really nice family members in my life who've been really constructive, brilliant role model, nurturing people, and they could easily slip into that role. And that's where, for myself, and if I do something like this with clients, I say, hey, let's just step it back a bit if we can, especially for this one, a bit like in superhero therapy. If you hadn't heard of that podcast, check it out. Brilliant. And then I take the character for the emotional self-nurturance. What is that one that's going to look after me? Daphne's kind of doing that now, so it's something that's teamed quite up with that. Something that's probably going to have to take over more of what she's doing, so that her role can be distinguished. Yep, someone's cutting up fruit. This one's cutting up fruit. They don't even need to be known. They're just, poor person who almost got a kitchen outfit on. I don't want to put that part of me into such a stereotype. Whoa, that's a bit, that was why it was hard to get to. It's hard to look after ourselves and be achieving. Now, gee, some fruit wouldn't be bad. That's another synchronicity. Now, the animal. I'm getting a displacer beast from the D&D that I learn about for my clients. That's an interesting one. Just kind of jumps from here to there, instantaneously reappearing somewhere else. It's a bit of a dark cat. Yeah. So, and I can easily see a synchronicity in that. This is going to be criticised. I've said this is for therapists to consider, the thematic analysis of the underlying in-betweens of therapies, not for everyone, not to be applied to everyone. So criticise as much as you like. It's welcome, very welcome, because I'm not always right. I don't want to always be right. I want to look for the convergence. Will that help you to know what underlies all? Maybe all of this will be thrown away and rebuilt, but if it frustrates you, that's good. It's inspiring you to do better. Otherwise, if you can't be constructive about it, then please think about whether you need to be a therapist. Genuinely, for the sake of others. So, taking a breath, noticing, gee, that was the intellect and the Terminator sticking together there, wasn't it? Got to be brave though, we get nowhere. That's what they're saying. That's those parts. The clean and tidy part, the Daphne part, she's not too happy with what I said. If I just reflect on what those are doing, Who's on the same team and who's not? Daphne, talking about my image, and the emotional self-nurturance part, cutting up some fruit to try and give to all the characters. And to me, they're on the same team. And perhaps it seems they're trying to support the achievements desired by the intellect and the warrior part. What is the animal saying? I don't know. How they're all reacting towards it, they're a bit confused by it. Is this the right time and place for this? I'll never know. So perhaps I just need to give it a go. Has a lot of synchronicities. Wonder if yours will come up with some interesting things. And if the next day it will come up with something different with different characters in different places. And I wonder if sometimes a certain place keeps coming up if it starts to tell you a certain repeated message. Wouldn't want to stick with one thing too long. I might need to look at a Dreamweaver technique to move forward to the next. The deeper theory of integrative neural theory will come up in some future videos. I'm going to share some parts of the journal article I've drafted, and that'll lead us on later down the track to the draft of the book that I've written. Thank you for your time today. Come up out of this. Make sure we talk our own way out. Let's contain this. It's just an imagining. Perhaps there's some interesting insights that you got from that you'll remember if you need to and find a way to apply when you need to. Perhaps it'll just be the nuancing of how we sit, how we breathe, why we relax, and how we can see the symptoms change in our body and feel that, and how practicing that regularly can give us the power to go and focus in a session for the benefit of ourselves and others. Letting go of all that, becoming better and better day by day, little by little as we need to. Let's take a few steps out. Waking up, fully awake now. Letting go, being in the right place and time you need to be to do the rest of your day as you need to do it now. Take care. See you soon.